Hi, this is Travis Ewer with Invictus Gymnastics, bringing you core workout number 15. Number 15 is going to have 6 different movements, and this one can get pretty difficult, okay? So if you need to rest, there is no scheduled rest amount of time in between sets or in between movements. So if you need to rest, rest as needed, but get back to the work as soon as you can. Okay, so we're going to go through these 6 different movements. They are going to have 2 different options, a beginning rep scheme or an advanced rep scheme, but there are some scaling options for the movements because some of these can get rather difficult. First one that we're going to do is we're going to lay on our back and do a leg lift with a candlestick, so it's a candlestick leg lift. Going to lay down flat, hands to your side, and here's the beginning version. I'm going to bend my knees, making sure that my low back can press down against the floor. Bring my knees in, press against the mat, lift my hips up, and bring them back down. Just going to continue this. If you are more advanced, you can do straight legs, in and up. You're going to do 10 or 20 reps, depending on your ability level. And then from there, we're going to move into the straight body sit-up. Straight body sit-up, you will lower your legs from the first movement, arms up next to your head, and we're going to go from here, sit up, and reach upward. Make sure you are not finishing in this position, that you're finishing with an extended spine. You're going to feel your hip flexors on this movement, okay? So we're all the way up here, and then back down. If it's a little too difficult to sit up, you're welcome to swing your arms into it if you need to swing them forward and then reach up and come back down. But at the top here, one of the important things is you're not sitting all the way up, okay? We don't want to release tension from the hip flexors and the abs. We want to keep them on. So your angle in your back should be a little less than 90-degree angle from here, okay? So we're doing straight body sit-ups. That is for 15 or 30 reps, okay? First rep scheme was 10-20 on the first movement. Second movement, 15-30. And then this one's 20-40. Once you sit up on that last sit-up, you're going to put your hands on the floor. You can lean back if you need to, fingertips, yoga blocks, whatever you need. But really what we're trying to do is we're going to lift one leg. I'll just put my fingertips down. We're going to lift one leg while applying pressure on the floor, okay? That means that my body's going to try to lean forward as much as possible. So these are seated piked single leg lifts. If you guys really want to challenge, you can reach out further and try to do single leg lift like this, but still thinking about trying to keep those hands as flat as possible. It's very tempting to start leaning back and doing this. And that's still good, it's a good exercise, but what we're trying to do is get the hip at more of an acute angle or as close to as possible and still be able to produce a leg lift. Make sure you're not just flopping that thing around, okay? It should be a controlled movement, hands flat and lift. And so you're gonna do 20 or 40 reps. If you do start to cramp up, that is normal. So take a rest, like I said, if you need to, maybe bring that leg back, stretch it out for a second, bring it back in, and then continue. Flex foot, pointed foot, doesn't really make a huge difference to me, but I would say pointed foot if at all possible. Try your best to keep the legs as absolutely straight as possible because you are going to use more hip flexor muscle in the whole leg, the whole upper leg, than just up in the hip crease, okay? So you do 20 or 40 on each leg. After that, this is a tough move. It is called a Lalanne Push-Up, named after Jack Lalanne, who made it famous. And I'm going to give you 4 scaling options. You're going to flip over, and we're going to start on our belly, legs semi-close together. It's okay if they're a little bit apart. But I'm going to have you press your elbows down into the floor underneath your shoulders. From here, I'm going to bend my knees, so I am hinging at my knees when I come up, and I'm going to push and try to round my back. Don't let my butt stick out. I want to keep it tucked under, and then back down. So we're going up and back down. Okay, so that's option number 1. That's going to be the easier option. Option number 2, we're going to go between this position and a full length position. So if my elbow were here and then here, I'm going to try to put my elbow somewhere in the middle. I'm also going to do the same movement, But now that my elbows are a little further out, it's going to require me to use a little bit more of my core strength from elbows, from hands all the way down to my legs, okay? So that's going to be option 2. Option 3, you're going to start this with straight arms, and you're going to go from here and lift up, okay? And then option 4 is the full-on legitimate Lalanne push-up. And what we're going to do is we're going to lengthen our body out as far as we can. Flat, toes tuck under. You may need to get a good grip on the floor with your toes. And from here, we're going to go up and back down. This is ankle extension. So when you have that traction under your toes and you have your body tight, when the ankles extend, your body should be able to bridge up. Try not to have a very lumpy position. What I have seen before is something like this. Make sure you pull that belly in and keep it tight first, okay? All right. You're only gonna do 10 reps. It doesn't matter if you're beginning, intermediate, or advanced on that one. 10 reps. There's plenty of ways that you can challenge yourself. If that's super easy, even the full Lalanne push-up, slow it down. See how softly you can make yourself land on the floor and then come back up, or just come down, barely tap the floor and then bring it back up, okay? Maybe even go up on your toes in option number 3 instead of using your knees, all right? Okay, from there, from the Lalanne push-up, we're gonna lay flat and we're gonna go into prone flutter kicks. So last push-up went down. Now I'm going to lift my legs up, my arms up, and I'm going to flutter kick my legs, okay? Now the flutter kicks, every 2 is gonna count as a rep, and that's how I find it to be easiest to count. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 20 or 40 reps, okay? Try to get your thighs to lift up off the floor. Again, I've seen this before. It's very tempting to start bending your knees like you're swimming or something, okay? Long legs and lift. It helps to think about lifting the back of the knee toward the ceiling, all right? At the end of that reps set, you're going to go from this position, straddle your legs as far as you can, and squeeze. You need to hold for 30 or 60 seconds. You may start to cramp up on this one. Again, rest if you need to, but do your very absolute best to try to get that full amount of time in before you move back over to the candlestick leg lifts, okay? 3 sets for quality of the movement, moving through as fluently as absolutely possible. That is core workout number 15, and I hope it's a doozy for you.